Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. When Calls the Heart, Hallmark's huge debacle has fans livid. When Calls the Heart fans are livid at Hallmark over their scheduling debacle. What happened that got these Hardys so upset? An error really messed up these superfans, season 12. Here is what happened. On Monday, livid Hardys went to social media over a huge When Calls the Heart scheduling problem. One fan wrote, "I'm so confused, T1D storyline." They continued. "Last week, I watched the episode Buried Treasure, with the Garrison gang and Angela visiting the school for the blind. I just sat down to watch last night's episode, and it started with previously scenes from an episode I haven't seen, where little Jack falls ill and is diagnosed with diabetes. I did some Googling and found articles that said the episode with the diagnosis was called Through the Valley. This episode is not showing on the episode list when I Google it. I don't want to watch last night's episode, Having Faith, until I see the missed episode. Is it just me, or was Through the Valley not aired?" Along with this issue, they shared a screenshot of the more recent When Calls the Heart Season 12 episodes. But there is an order problem. Through the Valley, which is episode 10, is not on this list. That is because it was listed as episode 12 on such sites as IMDb until recently. Hardys were also confused by Hallmark's schedule. In this When Calls the Heart post, others were equally confused. "I thought last night was the finale. What is this? Is this false hope or real?" Then the original poster wrote, "I should make a correction and say that the last episode my DVR recorded was Buried Treasure. It may have been the week before last, not last week. I don't know if my DVR just somehow missed recording Through the Valley, because I did just find it available to watch on demand. Therefore this Hardy did get to see the episodes in order." But they ended their statement, "I do think it's weird that the episode list that I posted the screenshot of does not include Through the Valley though." Thankfully this Hardy found a solution. But it turns out there was a snafu. Here is what likely happened. Major scheduling snafu on such sites as IMDb. One of the biggest issues was that IMDb originally had the wrong order of episodes. TV shows Ace contacted Hallmark Media and showed them the discrepancies. Episode 10 was Through the Valley, Episode 11, Having Faith, and Episode 12, Must Be Gold. Somehow Episode 10 was listed as Episode 12, and Episode 12 was listed as Episode 11. It was a real confusing mess. Moreover, other content creators were using this site as their reference and unintentionally shared incorrect information. Hallmark Media promised to correct these issues, and they did. Since then, IMDb has since been corrected. However, not all sites were corrected. Moreover, it looks like this correction did not occur on DVR-related schedules that may have relied on IMDb information. Therefore, these Hardys did not get the episode Through the Valley, which was the initial discovery that little Jack has diabetes. Hallmark has previously made When Calls the Heart Season 12 schedule change. Earlier this season, Hallmark made a major When Calls the Heart schedule change in early February. Instead of airing the episode When Autumn Leaves Begin to Fall on Super Bowl Sunday, February 9, it premiered the night before at 10 p.m. Eastern, after the movie The Wish List. This particular When Calls the Heart episode was a big deal too, as this was Melissa Gilbert's introduction to the series as Georgie McGill. This caused a lot of confusion that evening. However, every Sunday morning, Hallmark airs the previous week's episode premiere, and fans caught this episode on Sunday, February 16. Hardys can watch When Calls the Heart episodes on Hallmark Plus. For those Hardys who missed out on seeing the episode Through the Valley, they can watch all When Calls the Heart episodes on the Hallmark Plus streaming site. Fans can get a free week, or they can use their library card, and through Hoopla, they can check out a free week. Has always been a haven of love, forgiveness, and second chances. But beyond the dusty trails and pine-wrapped peaks of Coal Valley, a storm was brewing, not from the scriptwriters, but from the network executives themselves. Hallmark's latest decision regarding When Calls the Heart has ignited a wildfire of backlash that even Mountie Nathan Grant wouldn't dare attempt to contain. The trouble began innocently enough, with Season 12 filming in full swing and fans eagerly awaiting resolution to Elizabeth's fractured heart. Torn still between her past with Jack, her fragile connection with Lucas, and her growing trust in Nathan, Hallmark dropped a bombshell. The show would be placed on creative hiatus until further notice, due to what the network called narrative recalibration. Narrative recalibration, fans were baffled, then furious. It wasn't just the pause. It was what followed. Whispers of a When Calls the Heart reboot. Hallmark insiders hinted at a modernized reimagining that would trade the early 1900s setting for a contemporary Canadian town inspired by Hope Valley. The idea? A younger cast, edgier themes, and a new heroine. Possibly a tech-savvy blogger who moves into a historic village to rediscover love. The news was met with swift condemnation. Hashtags like #SaveHopValley and #NotMeFZTH exploded across X, formerly Twitter. Longtime Hardies, some who'd watched faithfully since the show premiered in 2014, vowed boycotts. Facebook groups lit up with outrage. Why fix what isn't broken? One fan wrote, "We don't want a reboot. We want resolution. We want real closure." The cast, blindsided by the announcement, reportedly learned of the hiatus through social media. Erin Krakow, who has anchored the show as Elizabeth Thatcher for over a decade, posted a cryptic Instagram story. A single broken heart emoji over an old photo of her and Daniel listening on set. Then she went silent. Chris McNally, Lucas Bouchard, and Kevin McGarry, Nathan Grant, offered carefully worded messages of gratitude to the fans. But their expressions during a live fan panel said more than words could. McGarry, noticeably emotional, admitted, "This show changed our lives. It's changed your lives. And none of us expected this." The crowd at the Hardy's family reunion gave him a standing ovation, and then began chanting, "No reboot. No reboot." Sources inside Hallmark suggested the decision stemmed from declining ratings and a desire to broaden the brand. But others say it's more complicated. A rumored rift between the show's creative team and Hallmark execs had been growing for months. Season 11's controversial cliffhanger, where Elizabeth left Lucas at the altar, was apparently not the original ending. Writers had originally planned a heartfelt reconciliation between Elizabeth and Nathan, but the network reportedly pushed for more drama and unpredictability. It backfired. Hardys, who had already weathered Jack's death, Elizabeth's endless love triangle, and sudden character departures, were fed up. Meanwhile, the show's producers attempted to patch things up. Brian Bird, the co-creator, took to Facebook with a lengthy open letter. Hope Valley is not just a place, it's a spirit. A community. One that lives in all of us who believe in faith, family, and frontier courage. I promise you, we hear your voices. We're fighting for the heart of When Calls the Heart, and we won't stop until it's beating strong again. But fans weren't convinced. What stung most was the loss of trust. "For 10 years, we've walked this journey with Elizabeth," said longtime fan Loretta Chavez, who started watching the show with her mother, now in assisted living. "We cried when Jack died. We waited for her to open her heart again. And now we're just discarded? No goodbye, no finale. It's cruel." A petition calling for Hallmark to reverse its decision amassed over 500,000 signatures in a week. Even Lori Loughlin, whose character Abigail Stanton was quietly written out of the show in the wake of scandal, posted a heartfelt message. Hope Valley deserves an ending, not a reboot. It's not just fiction, it's family. But the greatest blow came when rumors surfaced that Netflix was in talks to purchase the rights to the series. A new banner, When Calls the Heart, New Horizons, was quietly trademarked in July. It would retain only a few original characters and rebrand others entirely. One proposal involved renaming Hope Valley to Silver Ridge. Fans were aghast. Silver Ridge? One user posted on Reddit, "What is this, a soap opera reboot of a reboot? Elizabeth Thatcher deserves more than to be replaced by a TikTok influencer in plaid boots." Behind the scenes, Hallmark scrambled. Executives arranged emergency meetings with Pryko and the rest of the cast. A compromise was reportedly discussed. A 2-hour farewell movie that would wrap up lingering storylines and provide closure for Elizabeth, Lucas, and Nathan.